the Sunday market was June 14th, and today is Wednesday, June 17th. And so I don't know why I'm surprisingly late recording this. The part of the reason because it could be because I don't have storage on my phone, so I'm using my computer, my laptop. Another part of the reason is that this was a very exciting vendor market. It was still very enjoyable, but I wasn't as prepared. Also, it was talks of it being like rain or a storm. And so I thought that it might be like a very slow day, but then the storm got pushed to 5 p.m. and the event was from like 11 to 4 p.m. And then it got pushed to 8 p.m. And then I think it even happened later than that. And so I was surprised with that, but thankful. It was very good. Also, I almost didn't even know what like spot I was at because I had to reach out to say like, hi, I didn't get the email. And luckily, she was able to find it and email me back right away, and let me know like where my spot was and everything. So everything worked out. And this is my third time at this vendor market. So I really enjoy the vibes. I think it's just because I guess didn't have a lot of expectations going in. Maybe that's why I wasn't as eager to like record after like I usually do. Or maybe it's because I finally have gotten in a flow of things where I feel like I'm okay. I understand that I'm ready for like next steps. And so I'm not as nervous or I'm not as in my head anymore. And so that could be a good thing. So let me go over the event with you. You saw a little bit of the pictures. I'm sorry, I still have to work on like taking pictures and just recording the event more. I do not do that well. But also I did not have storage on my phone, so there are a lot of factors. I gotta work on making space on my phone. But yes, so the vendor market started at like 11, maybe 10:30, because setup was between 8 and 10, I believe. Um, yeah. And so for the first hour, I would say I had no sales. I had a few people stop by my table, pick up my bookmark, which I consider my business card. But no one really wanted to stay to explore the book or hear about my books. And that was okay. I honestly started to feel like that may just be the vibe for the whole day, and I was preparing for that. I did not feel like sad or bad about it. I was just like, okay, hopefully I at least build connections and can still enjoy even if I don't have any sales. But then luckily, out of nowhere, it started to pick up and I started to connect with people. Um, and it was just vibes. It was vibes of like talking to people, them either supporting my book bundle, which is buying my novel and my poetry book at a discounted price together, or buying my book, or buying my novel, or just my poetry book. And so I was really grateful for that, for people wanting to hear about my journey, what the book was about. I did start with a different like tag or interest point with my novel this time around. So I focused on the forgiveness part because my book is a part of a standalone series and it's the forgiveness series. And so I decided I need to start talking about that more because I don't. And so I said my novel touches on a deep sorry, I was gonna say deep conversation, but it's actually like a deep topic about can you handle, or my characters ask the question, can you handle your father trying their best too late? And a lot of people, when they heard that, they were like, wow, that's deep, or wow, I can't handle that right now because it hits home. And then a lot of people that actually said it hit home, they were adults. And my book is for teens, so it's teen main characters. And so a lot of people, or not a lot, like two people said I should write this but for adults who maybe their dad just recently came into their life and they're working with that new relationship, or those that are working on that relationship of forgiving them and working on the next steps of enjoying their time together. And so I found that really interesting and really important conversation. And so I was grateful for that feedback. And they did not purchase, and that is fine because I understand, like they said, they want it from an adult point of view, and mine is from a teen point of view. But it also touches on the father's perspective and the just being an adult trying to parent. And so I do have that like parent perspective in my book and the teen perspective, but it is more on the teen perspective trying to get through um just the household they're living in and how they're viewing their parents and how they're also trying to view their next steps for their life and what their future could look like versus their relationship with their parents. And so it is a heavy and deep conversation. So I can understand why some people aren't ready to read that because it could be a lot, or they could relate so much that they may need time to pause. And so I understand that. And so I'm grateful for their honesty. Let me share my standout moments now because I want to shout out first Pat and Bill. They were so wonderful to meet. Enjoyed their company, enjoyed their conversation. Bill is a writer. And I encouraged him to message me if he wanted to ask any questions about the publishing process because I did self-publish, or if just he wanted to just ask about the writing process more. Because I'm not one to always write about like things in my life, people in my life, what's around me to inspire my story or inspire my characters, but I know some writers are. And so it's cool to like hear different writer styles and just to branch off each other, have a conversation. So yeah. And then Pat was very encouraging. She gave me 1 month. 1 month. So technically she gave me till July 14th to do like a book signing or a book event where I'm reading passages from my novel, or I believe from either story, but I'm focusing on my novel in my head. So from my novel, and just do a book event, do a talk. Yeah, and so the pressure is needed because my another person who I see at the event a lot, and we used to go to college together, so we know each other. She also was encouraging me to do a book event last year, and I didn't, and she's disappointed that I didn't. And so she's pushing me also to do this book event. And so I need to listen. I need to not shy away. I am holding my own self back because I fear it. And it's not that I fear no one showing up, because that's a part of the process. If one person shows up, amazing. I fear just being looked at, just all eyes on me, and I have to answer a question. And like, what if I stumble? What if I mess up? What if I'm awkward? And I'm an awkward person already. And so it's just I guess it's I don't want to mess up, but messing up is a part of the process. I gotta learn somehow. And so I'm just very nervous, and that's why I haven't, but I need to get out of my own way and my own head, and I need to do it. So I am grateful for their pushes. And so July 14th, I don't know if it's gonna happen right then, but that is the goal, or at least I have to have something set up by then, like something ready to go. Another standout was this kid, this little boy, and his familiar figure. I don't know what her relation to him was, but they were so fun. His personality was so honest. He was honest that another family member wouldn't be interested in this book, and that's okay. Um, but she was, and I was so grateful that she said she'd come back, and she did come back to purchase my book. He took a bookmark, and I just loved their energy. They were very down to earth. They made me smile, and so I was grateful they stopped by twice. um, I'm trying to think what else. Another standout moment was this family, and they all kept coming back to back to back to order book bundles, and I was so grateful, so surprised, so happy in the moment, as they wanted to support me, and they thought of other family members that would also like the story or be interested. And it seemed like they were all just making like their own little book club, but within the family. And so that was cool, and I was very grateful because they could have like honestly like bought like two book bundles and then shared, but no, they bought more than that. And so that was super nice. And so I was very grateful for that. So yeah, that's another highlight that I wanted to share. Um, I did actually listen to myself this time and I ate. I planned it out. I did not eat right away, but at least I planned it out that I wanted to eat by 11 a.m. when the stores around that area were opening, 11:30. And I got food. I only ate half a sandwich throughout the whole event, but at least I ate. I planned it out. I stayed hydrated. I drank water. Um, also had a lemonade. So I was more prepared. My partner helped me. I'm very grateful. um, yeah. I surprisingly, for the first time, did not count how many sales I made. I write it down every time. So I'm always writing down after each customer. I write it down just so I can keep track. But I did not count. So give me 1 second. I'm going to count right now. And then I'll get back to you. So drum roll, please. 1 second. So, drum roll. I believe the total sales are 14. Yay! And so that's awesome. I don't know about my last event here, but I think in my last video about the book fair, I made 13 sales. So I did one more at this vendor market. And so that's cool. That's exciting. But yeah, I would have to look back to know how much I did at each of this specific spots event to compare. But it was still good. I'm still very grateful. And it was definitely a good time just interacting with people, seeing how I can expand my table, offer more ways to just be more engaging. I definitely need like a sign, about me sign, which I have envisioned in my mind, but I haven't made it yet. And so I need to print and make that. Um, yeah, overall a good event. And so I'm going to end it here. But yeah, I'm just glad that I'm finally sitting down to make this video to let you know how the event went, the highlights. And if I think of anything else, I will definitely add it in. So thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, just write your story and take care.